A 19-year-old man vanishes mid-phone call. A tourist flees an airport in full panic, and is never seen again. And 3 women disappear from a house without a single trace left behind. These aren't horror stories. These are real lives. In this episode, we dig deep into 5 of the most chilling unsolved disappearances that still haunt the internet, and the disturbing theories that keep them alive. Every detail you hear is real. Every case, still unsolved. Welcome to Shadow Files. On the night of May 14, 2008, Brandon Swanson was driving home from a college party in Canby, Minnesota. Just before 2 a.m., he called his parents. His car had slid into a ditch, and he was calmly asking for help. He told them he'd walk toward a nearby town and asked them to meet him halfway. For 47 minutes, Brandon stayed on the line, giving directions, chatting, even joking. Then suddenly, he yelled, "Oh, S." A scuffling sound. And then, silence. Authorities tracked his phone to a rural area between Lind and Marshall. Cadaver dogs followed his scent to a riverbank, then nothing. No footprints, no clothing, no signs of a fall. Some believe he fell into the Yellow Medicine River, but no body ever surfaced. Others suspect foul play, someone may have been following him. The most haunting part? His parents never heard any panic, until that final second. It's as if Brandon stepped off the edge of reality, mid-sentence. Case 2, Lars Mittank, the airport phantom. Lars Mittank was on vacation with friends in Bulgaria in June 2014. He got into a minor fight at a bar over football, and suffered an ear injury. His friends flew home, but Lars stayed behind to recover. That's when things turned dark. He began acting paranoid. Told his mom he was being followed. Texted her, "Please cancel my credit card. I don't feel safe." He checked into a cheap hotel and hid from imaginary men. On July 8, Lars visited the airport doctor. Mid-consultation, he stood up, said, "I don't want to die here," and ran full speed out of the airport, abandoning his luggage and passport. He was never seen again. Theories range from a psychotic break, to gang involvement, to espionage-style paranoia. But his digital footprint ended that day. Even with millions of views and tips online, not one credible sighting has ever emerged. Lars didn't disappear in the wild. He disappeared in public, in full view, with cameras watching. And yet, he's gone. Case 3, Mora Murray, the college girl who vanished. It began with an email. February 9, 2004. Mora Murray, a promising 21-year-old nursing student at the University of Massachusetts Amherst, sat at her dorm room computer and wrote a message to her professors. She claimed there had been a death in the family. But there hadn't. No one had died. No emergency had been reported. That email was the first in a series of quiet, unexplained choices. Within hours, Mora had packed her car, wine, makeup, textbooks, cash, and disappeared into the White Mountains of New Hampshire. A place where she knew no one. A place where she would never be seen again. Mora left campus without telling a single friend or roommate. She didn't leave a note. She didn't text her boyfriend. She didn't call her sister. Around 7 p.m. that night, her car, a worn-down 1996 Saturn, crashed into a snowbank on a remote stretch of Route 112 near the town of Haverhill. A nearby resident, hearing the impact, came out to offer help. Mora appeared uninjured and calm. She declined assistance and told the neighbor she had already called AAA. But phone records later revealed, no such call was ever made. 10 minutes after the crash, a police officer arrived. The car was still running, the airbags had deployed. But Mora was gone. The snow was fresh. There were no footprints leading away from the scene. Her belongings were inside the car, school books, alcohol, a favorite stuffed animal. A rag was oddly stuffed into the tailpipe, suggesting a temporary car fix, or something more ominous. She didn't check into any local motel. She wasn't captured on any nearby surveillance camera. Search dogs picked up her scent, only for it to vanish abruptly near a roadside. It was as if Mora had simply evaporated from the world in a matter of minutes. But Mora's life wasn't as perfect as it looked on paper. A few nights before she vanished, she crashed her father's car after a night of drinking. She had been caught using stolen credit cards to buy food. And on the night before she disappeared, she received a phone call, the contents of which have never been publicly revealed, that visibly shook her. Her family insists she was under stress, but not suicidal. Her boyfriend, stationed at West Point, admitted their relationship had deep issues. Some even believe he received a disturbing voicemail from Mora after her disappearance, consisting only of the sound of someone breathing. Over the years, the mystery took on a life of its own. Online sleuths began dissecting every detail, from her choice of route to her purchase of liquor to the broken taillight. A cottage industry of theories emerged. Was she running from legal trouble? Did she stage her own disappearance and start a new life? Or was she abducted in that 10-minute window, by someone who had been watching her? Case 4, Sneha and Philip, the woman who vanished on September 11. New York City, September 10, 2001. Sneha and Philip, a 31-year-old physician, enters a department store in Lower Manhattan. Surveillance footage shows her calmly browsing, trying on shoes, and purchasing clothes. It's the last confirmed moment of her life. She didn't return to her apartment that night. And the next morning, everything changed. Sneha lived just 3 blocks from the World Trade Center. When the towers fell, the city was paralyzed by chaos, smoke, and sirens. For days, no one noticed she was missing, because nearly 3,000 others were, too. There's no proof she returned to her apartment on the night of September 10. Her MetroCard was never swiped. Her phone records went silent. No 9/11 victims or survivors recall seeing her that morning. And yet, some believe she ran into the disaster, not away from it. Her husband, Ron Lieberman, a tech specialist, said she was likely helping victims at Ground Zero when the towers collapsed. He called her a hero. But investigators weren't so sure. Just before her disappearance, Sneha was under suspension from her hospital. An internal investigation cited unprofessional behavior, though her family claimed she was speaking out against harassment. She had also begun staying out late, sometimes for multiple nights in a row, allegedly spending time in bars and with new acquaintances, some of whom her husband didn't know. There were rumors of substance use, personal struggles, and deepening marital tensions. The Sneha her family knew, ambitious, kind, brilliant, was slowly becoming someone else. Or maybe, someone lost. Ron Lieberman's story changed over time. He first told police that Sneha came home late on the 10th, but then admitted he didn't see her at all. He said he slept alone, but couldn't account for why she didn't return. Could it be grief clouding memory? Or was there something he wasn't saying? Investigators found no confirmed witnesses of Sneha after the shopping footage. No one saw her enter a hospital. No one saw her rushing toward the towers. And there's no record of her body ever being recovered from Ground Zero. Her family believes she died a hero, running into the flames to help strangers in need. The state of New York initially disagreed. In 2004, she was removed from the official list of 9/11 victims. But her name was added back 3 years later, after an emotional court battle. Others aren't so sure. Could she have used the chaos of 9/11 to start a new life, escaping the mounting pressure of her career, her marriage, and herself? Or did someone close to her take advantage of a disaster to hide something darker? Of all the mysteries tied to 9/11, Sneha and Philip's story remains one of the most haunting. Not just because she vanished, but because even decades later, we still don't know where her story ends. Or if it ever did. Case 5, the Springfield Three, Gone Without a Trace. June 6, 1992. High school graduation night. Stacy McCall and Susie Streeter had just graduated. After partying, they stayed at Susie's house, along with Susie's mother, Cheryl. The next morning, all three were gone. Their cars were parked outside. Purses left behind. Makeup, keys, clothes, untouched. No broken windows. No signs of struggle. Just one shattered porch light. And a voicemail that one family member accidentally erased. Police believed the women were abducted, likely by someone they knew. Suspects were questioned. Dogs were brought in. But no bodies, no blood, no ransom. In 2007, a convicted criminal claimed they were buried in a hospital parking lot, but ground-penetrating radar found nothing. This case still rocks the Midwest. It's as if 3 lives were erased from the planet overnight. Together. Without a trace. Brandon. Lars. Mora. Sneha. The Springfield Three. These people lived. They laughed. They were loved. And now, they are gone. But their stories remain. If any detail stood out to you, comment below. These are real cases, and one tip, one theory, could change everything. Subscribe and like for more deep dive investigations, and help us keep these names from fading into the shadows. Because here on Shadow Files, we don't forget.